Yes, I know you all love the Scorcher, Breaker Incendiary, and Jar 5 Dominator. The Breaker is an insane bug killer, the Dominator dismantles bots, and the Scorcher is just good at everything. But this video is about none of those. This video is about all of those primary weapons that most of you can't stand. The weapons that just sit there on the shelf rusting away whilst you all pick something else. Well, you know who does pick them? Me. And so this video is 4 guns everyone hates that I actually kinda like. Yeah, maybe it's all cope, but yeah, gotta make a video about something. The first weapon on my list of primary weapons that everyone hates is the Liberator Concussive. The Liberator Concussive, formerly known as the Liberator Explosive, was actually the first primary weapon I ever used in Helldivers 2 other than the original Liberator. And whilst I did eventually replace it with something else as my daily driver, I do still really love it. Why do I love it? Well, the clue is right here in the description. Stagger. This thing is an absolute master at staggering enemies. Got a brood commander in your face and you want to get rid of him? See ya, dude. A hunter leaping to rip your nose off? Nope. Or is that a bile spewer about to ruin your teammate? Mogz to the rescue. The Liberator Concussive basically has the same amount of stagger as the Punisher shotgun, only it's an assault rifle, and so whilst it doesn't have the same stopping power as the Punisher, it is much more effective at range. And on top of that, it has a much higher fire rate with a fairly sizable magazine. And all of this makes it an extremely effective weapon for sustained crowd control. I like to use it whenever I feel like playing a support role. I'll use the Liberator Concussive to keep enemies at bay, holding the line and keeping the bugs away from my teammates. And I'll use it to interrupt attacks from enemies like bile spewers and devastators to keep everyone safe. It may not be the most powerful weapon, but that stagger is incredible. The next gun on the list is the Purifier. And before you click off because you've already seen my countless videos about this weapon, don't worry, I'm not going to bang on about it for too long. Just let me summarize why I like this gun. Essentially, the Purifier has the same kind of utility as the Liberator Concussive that we just talked about. It's a crowd control weapon that allows us to interrupt and stagger the enemy at long range. It's similar to a Punisher Plasma in that it has a nice AoE blast radius, but it's not as difficult to use at long range. And it's similar to the Scorcher, except its blast radius is much bigger. The main thing that most people hate about this weapon is the charge up mechanism, which yeah, can definitely be annoying. But honestly, even when using the Punisher Plasma, I find that I'm often holding my shots for a second or so to line up the enemy, so yeah, I don't really mind the charge up. But yeah, if you want more info on this gun, I recommend my Purifier Master video where I give you a ton of the most up-to-date info on it. Don't write off this weapon though, it is actually really good, especially against bots. Before we get into the next section, a huge shout out to ExpressVPN. If you've ever wanted to play games in a different region or browse the web securely, ExpressVPN is how you do it. I can tell you from experience it 100% works, and honestly, the ping's actually decent too. And right now, every single Mogz viewer is gonna get a huge discount of 3 months off all 12-month subscriptions, meaning it just got a whole lot cheaper for you to jump into a different region and destroy your opponents over there. How good is that? So go check out ExpressVPN via the link on screen and in the video description. Next up, the Scythe. Now, yes, I do love the Scythe, however, I'm not going to sit here and claim that it's an absolutely amazing weapon that's going to put you at the top of the kills leaderboard every match. Cause no, it kind of sucks. The problem with the Scythe is that the sickle exists, and the sickle kind of trumps the Scythe in pretty much every single area. The reason I love the Scythe though has more to do with the way it feels than the way it performs. And the way it feels is lasery. One of my favorite ways to play Helldivers 2 is to pair the Scythe with every other laser weapon in the game, and then jump down to a planet and, as I said in my Walking Laser God video, shoot continuously forever without ever having to stop shooting for any reason at all, except obviously to change weapons. Honestly guys, don't knock it till you've tried it, it is incredibly fun. Of course, if the sickle in Helldivers 2 retained the amazing lasery vibe of the sickle in Helldivers 1, then I would put the Scythe to bed forever and never touch it again. But until that happens, I'm going to stick with my real laser. And the fourth and final weapon that I love that most people hate is the Adjudicator. The Adjudicator is another weapon that I've already talked about in one of my videos, and in that video I kind of said that I didn't rate it highly. Well, I just want to correct myself there. Rather than giving this a 4.5 as I did in that video, I want to change that score to a 7. I think I was a little bit harsh. The reason I like this weapon is that it's one of the best all-round weapons in the game. By all-round, I mean it's fast at firing, and so it handles small, fast targets with ease. It's medium armor penetrating, and so it handles medium armor targets. And it's good at close range and long range. In fact, I might argue that it's one of the only primary weapons to tick all of those boxes. Even something like the Scorcher, which ticks most of them, when you try to use it at close range, yeah, that hurts. The Dominator also ticks most boxes, but is horrible at handling fast-moving targets. And yeah, there's a lot of other examples of great weapons with major shortcomings. The reason that this all-round feature is so useful is that it allows you a ton of freedom when creating your loadout. You don't need to take a medium armor penetrating support weapon because your primary does that. You don't need to take a fast firing sidearm because your primary does that too. You don't need a long range support weapon because we got that. And you don't need a close range emergency weapon. You can just take whatever you want. And that is why I love the Adjudicator. And that's it guys, that's 4 weapons that I really like that I think most people really don't like at all. I pretty much never see anyone using any of these weapons other than maybe the Adjudicator. That's probably the most popular one of the lot. Let me know down below if you guys have any weapons that you really like that you think most of the community hates, and tell me why you like them. I'd love to hear from you. And as always guys, like the video if you liked it, dislike it if not, subscribe for more videos like this, and I'll see you in the next one.